Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad to hear this morning. Got a big show lined up. Be giving away some stuff. But first, let's take a look at our weather. Brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning, Drew Pollard and his hard-working crew, taking care of our everyday comfort needs. High today, 66 and low 58. Not much variance right there. Water temperature at the end of the pier right at 65 degrees. It looks like we have some rain coming, so just be prepared for that. And our river readings are, everything's going to be high water. But let's get to the river readings right now. Take a look at it. Brought to us by Panama City Coca-Cola. Looking at a good strong, this is what I call a good strong river flow. The Apalachicola is reading this morning right at 7 foot, and it's going to stay pretty level. And then the Choctaw Caribbean is like at 5 foot and dropping out a little bit. So, but then we've got the rain coming, so it's going to go back up. So, this is a day-to-day thing. We'll give you the river readings every day except on Mondays. We'd like to really get the moon phases coming in on Monday so we can plan the rest of the week. And these little things, I know some of y'all it doesn't mean anything to, but a lot of y'all, the little things are important when you're doing outdoor activities, and every little thing helps. Okay, our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Looking at neap tide today, low at 440, high at 630. The wind will be coming out at east-southeast at about 10. Let's go into our fishing game times today. What I do it on Friday, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. 7 to 9 this morning, and this afternoon, late at dark, 7:21 to 9:21. Okay, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, well, welcome back. We've got a lot of stuff to get here. We'll try to squeeze it all in today, so we'll wrap it up for the week. But let's get started. All kind of information I want to share with you. So this one right here, this is from FWC. We have placed drop boxes, what they call drop box freezers around Holmes County, Jackson, and Washington for hunters to drop off deer samples for CWD testing. Folks, this is important. So find your freezer. These samples will help them assess what the CWD is doing. So work with them on that and try to help each other out on this. It's a big deal. Speaking of, this is crazy. Nick Raphael, know Nick, he got up last week to go to a stand, ground blind. Well, it's not funny, it's ridiculous, but he looks around and his ground blind's gone. All the thing is left is his chair. So anyway, it's a sad day, he couldn't even relax, and somebody stole his ground blind. So usually hunters and all don't do stuff like that, but hey, that happened, Nick. The Redfish Series coming up in 2024, January. This is good. The Florida Redfish Series, they do a good job with it. You see the West Coast Division, that's not us, right here in the center. Panhandle, February 24th, 2024, and then May 4th in Panacea. And it's just a cool thing to have. At a Sea Hag Marina, the championship will be there. Okay, moving on. This is Nick Murphy. They went straight from the courthouse to they went squirrel hunting in the middle of the day. That's why I wanted to show it last week. They went squirrel hunting in the middle of the day, and look at the squirrels they got. Good job, Nick Murphy, Aiden Murphy, and Brian Miller. Okay, Pat Bryant sent this. The hunting lease that I'm in had a youth dog hunt this weekend here below Bristol on private land. These are the two boys with their deer that they were able to harvest. This is Caden Worthington here. Good job, Caden. And then this is Joshua Simpson, a 7-point. He's here with his brother, Caleb Simpson. All right. They wrapped up the month of November. Remember, we had a Guy Martin Award on the show. Give a shout out. They're talking about he started the St. Andrews Classic, he and his wife and some friends. And the results are in the 2023 St. Andrews Classic. Let me see, I've got it blown up better here. We're going to go through all of them. We had a red snapper, 18-pounders, king mackerel, a 27-pounder. I'm just looking at first place. Triggerfish, redfish had 7 spots, and speckled trout. Guess who won speckled trout? How about Gary Messick? Well, guess who got second place? 5.86. I laugh at Gary because he's won so many trout tournaments. Anyway, so congratulations to all those guys and girls for fishing at St. Andrews Classic, and we'll hit it up next year too. Here are the actual results and all the names. Cold Saws, I won't read all the names, but remember they had a land and a surf division. They had a pier and a bridge. That's what I loved about it. You could fish at different places, enter different categories. That's old Steve Mandeville, he's in here. I know a lot of these boys and ladies. Okay, Mark Bossler. Anyway, bottom line, the mystery weight on the king mackerel was 4 pounds. So they won a charter trip. And then you see the money they won. That's cool. That really is. I like this one here. This is Tony Anderson right here. That's Tony Anderson. Let me tell you about Tony. Tony Anderson played high school football there in Liberty County, there in Bristol, Liberty County High School. Big old guy, played tight end, got a football scholarship to the University of Florida. Was a heck of a ball player down there in Florida. He's a big guy. And graduated, played ball there, graduated, came back to Bristol, ended up being a principal and all. He's retired now, but check this out. Tony's a good guy. When his 6-year-old grandson catches 10 fish right by himself and wants to learn how to clean them, it is a fun, teachable moment, having to answer 100 questions. Even though he's not crazy about the guts, he's looking forward to eating his catch. Is that not a framer right there? Tony, I know you enjoyed it. Look at those fish he caught. You know that was fun. Here he is with his grandkids, doing well up there in Liberty County with Tony Anderson. On a sad note right here, I won't dwell on this. Basically, let me tell you what happened. I think Monday of this week, a guy was on a motorcycle, I think 60-something years old, and up in Jackson County, and he's just going normal speed and wasn't doing anything, and a deer jumped out in front of him and actually hit him, and it was a fatal accident. It was just a freak accident, and I know, talking about deer jumping out in front of you, and what's the chance of that? So my condolences to the family. They didn't release the name. I don't really know who it is, but I don't know how you can prevent something like that, but I just, deer are moving around this time of the year, so be careful at night. Okay, what a great picture here. Pam Morgan Hagler. This is up in Southport. Is this not a great picture? Let me blow it up for you. Look at that. Now, I guarantee he's come down from Deer Point Lake. They have some nests up there at Deer Point, and they'll come on down in the Southport area looking for the rodents and different food. I just think what a classic picture right there. Good job. Okay, and here's the one looking at you right there. Okay, one quick one here. Let me come back. Let me come out of this. I want to talk about it more. I do want to end with this one. This is Steve Rogers. He's putting together a Christmas tree, and Steve's been on the show with custom rods, and he sent me the picture. He's got his Christmas tree up. So check out the decorations on it, but look at the frame of the Christmas tree. Okay, it is a rod, fishing rods, all different shapes, and then the decorations are what? Fishing plugs and fishing worms. Is that not cool? Just wrap it with a wreath right there. That's a couple of Zepcos and some blank rods, old rods. And here it is right here. That's all lit up there. And then he's got it there in the living room. Look at a big old bass over there. Good job, Steve Rogers, and Merry Christmas to you and your family. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's go to that one more picture I just did get in right here. It's this big. This is Steve Barnett. Steve from here, and he was out west and went out on a trip like so many of y'all get to go on trips out. I don't know whether it's New Mexico, Wyoming, or where, but anyway, is that not beautiful where you get to hunt? That looks like maybe Montana, but what a fine boat. Good job, Steve, and welcome back home. Now I want to mention this next story as a lead up to it. One of the things we try to really bring out in Panhandle Outdoors is we just try to keep talking about our heritage, the culture of the outdoors in Florida Panhandle. And it goes back with the rich heritage we've had that's been handed down to us, and how so many of us try to keep it going on. And there's so many heroes in the past and different areas of the Panhandle. And I've always thought so much of when I show this picture here, this young man, back in his younger days, okay, Does this look familiar? Jack Wingate on the cover of Bassmaster magazine way back in the day, and he opened up Wingate's Lodge, and they wrote articles and all on him, but he passed away. His daughter, I'm in contact with daughters on occasion, and I just want to read this because this is how he got started. Remember, he was actually lived, before I get to this, I'll tell you a story. When they dammed up Lake Seminole, before they built the dam, Jack's family had land around there, and he knew everybody in that area. He was able to walk around and find all kind of Indian artifacts because everything met there. And he just had a vast collection that he preserved and had such rich heritage that he was able to preserve. So here it is. Here's the story. This is his daughter writing this. I just want to read it really quick. In early August 1952, Joyce Ellis of Sulphur, Oklahoma, pulled up to the gas pumps of Wingate's General Store, that's his parents' store, in Faceville, Georgia, when Jack Wingate came running out shirtless and barefoot through a mud puddle to pump her gas. They were both smitten at first sight, and 3 months later they married at the parsonage. Okay, that's the preacher's house in Faceville on a Sunday afternoon after the lunch rush. And 59 years they lived together, built a fishing and hunting lodge that became famous everywhere for 43 years, a museum restaurant, best food you ever hung a lip on, 3 daughters, fostered a 4th, 3 grandsons. Went on to say, today, this was last week, they would have celebrated 71 years of marriage. And so anyway, I just wanted to bring that out. But one of the pictures I found this of them right here. And then this is story. This is obituary I looked up, and it was just way back. Talks about the Sage of Seminole. This was a national magazine that came out talking about right here. Bass found Ray Scott when the first tournament he ever went on. Out of 106 entries, right here in the center, he was able. Jack Wingate sent 22 from down here to fish, and they were all attributed because Jack Wingate had told them about it. So Uncle Lodge, I just want you to understand some of the heritage, but this was a famous sign he had, and this right sums it up. This is optimism of a fisherman. Cuz, on one side it says, cuz they'll tear it up tomorrow. On the other side, it said, cuz they bit yesterday. So that shows how folks were able to identify with the fishermen and all. I just wanted to bring that out to you. Real quick on some gifts. We didn't get to finish this list up the other day. I talked about young people gifts and teenage gifts. Let's quickly get into the older people gifts or grown-up gifts. There were just so many we had to talk about. One of them was State Park Pass. We talked about a State Park Pass and a lifetime license for young people. But what about a handmade cast net? Okay, you don't get many of those anymore. So if you can get I know a couple of guys do it. If you need the phone numbers, I'll be glad to. How about a kayak? Folks are just still, kayaks are just still so popular all around the area. Of course, go down to Weewaw Wiggler Bait and Tackle and get some of those Panhandle Outdoor shirts. I know Billy Grantham made a special trip down there and got a bunch of them. How about a fishing trip with a local guide? We have so many good local guides, so give a gift for that for Christmas, and you can line up any time of the year, but that's a great gift. You can do some inshore fishing, some nearshore fishing, or if you want to, try to put together a red snapper trip, a group trip with a group of guys, and if you get a lot of folks together and go ahead and charter a nice red snapper trip. But there's so many outdoor things you can do. This was good, and this was done before. It don't cost you anything. Put together an old-fashioned photo album. Wendy did this for us not too long ago. A photo album of all of the outdoor things. And I mean, I may not cover all of them, but she did one of when I was little, hunting with my daddy and all that, and just outdoor stuff through the years. And that's an excellent present, and especially trying to preserve the old copies of those things too. One thing too, the any kind of outdoor wear. I've talked about that, but you want to get warm. But we haven't talked about this a lot lately. Waders. I'm talking about in salt water, wading in the bay, up on the river, keeping your train dry. But you want to make sure you get these hip waders. And if you plan to do any kind of fly fishing, make sure you have some good waders. That's an excellent Christmas gift for an outdoorsman. Now, one of the things too, you get into any kind of catfishing, so any kind of catfishing paraphernalia, buy some trot lines and give them, give that as a present. There's so many creative things you can do as outdoorsmen do. So I have a whole list. So we've covered just about all of them. But make sure your outdoor wear fits the activity you're doing. So you don't want those big old waders and get on a boat or something. If you're just going to wade out into the bay and do some fishing in the winter, which is a good time to do it. Get something comfortable. Okay, moving on. Let's get ready to do our drawing from Tarpon Dock Seafood. And the seafood is so good this time of the year. There's some fresh seafood down there. Okay, we're looking at the $20 gift certificate is going to all the way from Panama City Beach, Tony Acock. And the winner of the Big Red Snapper is going to be from Panama City Beach. Got a lot of folks out there. Sam Redding. So congratulations to you two, and go down there and check it out, and go ahead and see Clay. Clay watches the show. He'll have your name. So we'll be right back after this break for our famous Friday fishing forecast. Okay, welcome back. I had to leave this picture up just a little bit longer. I just want you to soak this in, because this was a iconic classic here in the Florida Panhandle. The old Pepsi sign up there at Jack Wingate's, because they'll tear it up tomorrow. Okay, so and it just reflects the optimism that everyone has as a fisherman, because you weren't here yesterday, they're going to tear it up tomorrow. So let's get ready to go to Google Earth and get ready for the fishing forecast. Our Florida famous fishing forecast, brought to us by our sponsors right here, Jessica Ling Insurance and Financial Group, and Matt Andrews for Hammerdown Roofing. Two good folks right there. I known them a long time, and we're just glad to have them. Google Earth on one. I think we just got a new one on here. So anyway, we may skip Google Earth today. So we got a worldly view of things. So we're going to just get back. Anyway, I got a whole page written down, put together different reports from last night, and what we have, St. Joe, let's see, we'll just keep it blank. Down in St. Joe, I did listed the hot spots, about 5 or 6, well actually 6 hot spots that you can look at this weekend. Now, you got to look at the weather, because it's going to be moving around. It's stormy in some areas and all, but the hot spots. One of the first ones I want to say is Lake Seminole. The hybrid bass. We got a report from Billy Grantham, who knows everything up there and talks to the people. The hybrid bass on Lake Seminole and the Apalachicola River system, they are biting. So that's one really good choice for this weekend, the hybrid bass. Also, down in St. Joe Marina, I had a good report down there, right off that wall there. They're catching reds and trout that they moved in this time of year, and right off the wall. So that's 2 places you can go and fish from shore and catch fish. Oftentimes I get that question, if you don't have a boat, where can you go? Another place I talked about, the Carabel River. Go right to the Carabel River for you folks down on the eastern end of the viewing area. That's going to be good. Another place will be the West Bay Bridge. The sheephead are just starting to bite some. You got some drum hanging around there, so drum and sheephead at that West Bay Bridge. Actually, any of the bridges, but that's just one I had a report from. The Destin Bridge, same way. The sheephead bite this time of year, and our Destin Bridge really holds them well. And the guys up there at the Phoenix Springs with the Bent Rod Fishing Club and all of them, they do a lot of it. So, okay, so move on to the other place, Sandy Creek. This time of year, Sandy Creek is an excellent place to go. Captain Roy and I used to go there all the time, and I haven't been late. I'd like to go another fishing trip with Captain Roy. Okay, now, we'll move on. Just ignore this stuff behind us. Okay, I mentioned that bass are doing well. They're doing well in the river system before the rain. They were doing well. The lower end of Apalachicola, I mentioned this last week. You saw Bobby Smith up in those feeder creeks, done really well. The river flounder, okay, the river fishing is good. I want to go to the flounder. Got some pictures this week of some nice flounder being caught, and we're talking about a season opening up on December 1st. They were catching flounder out the pass about in 40 to 50 feet of water. Of course, you want to use live bull minnows this time of the year. And speaking of live bait, this is a good time of year to use a live bait. And the go-to, of course, always be live shrimp. And one of the best ways, if you can just free line, you understand what free lining is? Just sort of put your live bait on there, toss it out there, and let that bait just move around naturally. And a lot of people, I know Stan Kirkland on his wade fishing, he'll just throw his net and catch whatever's in that little marsh area and put that on his hook. I mean, how simple is that? And how effective that is. So I want to encourage you to do that. And also, if you're fishing like off a pier or something, use a little sabiki rig, drop it down by the pilings, and whatever there's around the pilings is going to be hit that sabiki rig, pull it up, and just put it on your hook. It's nothing complicated about it. Also had some good reports on, well, I got the flounder, but the bass up in the lakes, they're starting this winter trail, and these guys are telling me they're going to be going up the river on the bass tournaments, and especially down in the White City area, because you got so much rain coming down, so you're going to have to fish up there where it's not quite as high and all. Also, let's see, I wrote down I want to go back to the bull minnows. If you can catch, it's hard to catch bull minnows, but you can buy them at your bait and tackle store. You got to be able to keep them alive now. That's the only drawback on live bait fishing, keeping them alive. You got to make sure you're well, and your circulation there and your pump is doing good. So check all that out. We're already sort of planning some Christmas fishing trips. I mean, this would be after Christmas when you have all the family here doing different things, and we're sort of lining some stuff up now to do. So I want you to go and do the same thing. Planning some good trips and some outdoor activities. But the fish in this condition, we're going from the fall, late fall into winter. December 22nd, quote, the first day of winter. But as we're getting ready for winter fishing, it's just different techniques. And remember, fish slower. But I start wrapping things up. We've had a good week. We had some good guests. I really enjoy having them on. Next week we have some good guests coming on with some videos, some really nice fishing trips. So we appreciate the viewership, and the feedback you give us has just really been hardens our soul, because y'all just talks about so many things we talk about. I run into y'all, and it's just good positive things, and want to just encourage you to continue to do that. You have a great weekend. Enjoy our great outdoors and take care of it. And do something good for someone else today. And God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.